morning. I'm Ethan. This is Draft Magic. And we're going to draft magic because that's what we do. I'm going to do an Oath of the Gatewatch Swiss draft. So we can get several rounds in, and I will press play again when this fires up. Draft is just about ready to fire. We just need one more person. I've done quite a few of these Oath of the Gatewatch Battle for Zendikar drafts with a fair bit of success. I've watched a lot of videos too and gotten a pretty good feel for the format. So this is the first time I've ever recorded a video. Played a ton of tournaments, but for the first time I'll be commentating and posting content when I'm done, and we'll see what people think. I've been playing Magic since college, which is 16 years now. So a long time with this game. I'm no pro or anything, but I think I'm a reasonably decent Magic player. I guess we'll let the internet be the judge of that. And we're stuck on 7 players, so I'm talking for longer than I planned on. And I'll pause again and fire this up if somebody else ever shows up. Well, here we go. We've got 8 players. Open pack 1. Show me something awesome. Well, that's an interesting Magic card. I've not played with this one yet or seen it played. It's funny how some rares you seem to see over and over and some you just don't. That's a pretty reasonable card. I mean, it's a 2/3 body for 3 mana to start with and has a lot of upside in the right deck. So that's pretty interesting. Let's see what else. The uncommons are not particularly interesting. Relentless Hunter's a good card, but that's not a direction I want to go right off the bat. The 2 good white 3-drops here. I like white a lot in this format. I'm not really passing much of anything. I don't even know what direction the next guy's going to go. Maybe white, depending on what he took, but not that I'm locked into taking this rare, but I'd kind of like to. There's nothing here I really want to take over it. Yeah, not really missing out on anything. I'm going to give this a try. This could be fun if it comes together. Blue-red can work. But I won't get married to it and locked into it or whatever. We'll just kind of see where this goes. Alright, there's some good cards here. Nissa's Judgment is a really good removal spell in my book. 5 mana to kill something and pump a couple of your guys works out pretty well. It's a really nice tempo play. Once again, here's the 2 white 3-drops. Vampire Envoy is a really good card. In blue and red there's not a whole lot. I'm just going to take the best card here, which is probably Nissa's Judgment. Yeah. Oath of Jace is not very impressive. I don't anticipate getting a lot of planeswalkers, so I doubt I'll be scrying much. Draw 3, discard 2 is just okay for 3 mana. It's filtering cards. It's no card advantage, but maybe it's the card I should follow up with here. No, let's take Nissa's Judgment and just see what happens. Take the best card and carry on. Alright. Well, I like this a lot. There's so much blue in this pack. Jwar Isle Avenger, Void Shatter I like. Thought Harvester is a good Magic card. Prophet of Distortion is a really cool Magic card. It seems particularly good with this guy. Casting 2 spells in a turn seems easy. Negate's a good card too. Saddleback is a really excellent common, which is a direction I could go as well with this Nissa's Judgment. That is a thing. But all this blue makes me want to be the blue drafter. Blue is not the greatest color, I don't think, in this format, but if it's open, it can be, and it pairs well with other colors. So I'm just going to take the Prophet of Distortion. I like this card. I like drawing extra cards more than pretty much anything else in Magic, so I'm going to do that today. And see how it goes. Interesting. Alright. Well, if we'd taken those white cards, we could continue to take some mediocre-ish to decent white cards. White's really good, so a lot of people fight for it, but Essence Depleter is a great card. That would be another color. Give us our fourth color here. Plus it's colorless, so technically 5. So maybe we don't go that route. Jwar Isle Avenger is okay, especially in this kind of plan. Plan to already try to cast multiple spells per turn. We don't really have to go crazy trying to make this work. It's fine just as it is, and if we draw an extra card or two off it in a game, that's just amazing. I think I'm going to go with the Jwar Isle Avenger. I think it's the best option here, considering what we have so far. So, looks like Nyssa's Judgment probably isn't going to happen, but, well, interesting. This is another good white card. It's making me wish I'd taken some white cards. Void Grafter, I think, is a pretty good Magic card. That would be blue-green, which we could try to splash green, or we could try to splash this guy. Not that that's very good on the splash. Warden of Geometries is okay. It's a source of colorless. Umara Entangler, I don't think is very good in this format. It's a 2-drop, which is important, but not a very good one. Stalking Drone is okay if we want to get away from Jorian and be in blue-greenish maybe, but if I was going to do that, I'd just take the Void Grafter, and that is what I'm going to take in case that ends up the direction we go. Jorian is the only red card we have right now, so I don't want to get stuck on that, and we have some good blue and green going on here. So, well, Scion Summoner is a pretty good Magic card. Kozilek Shrieker is a pretty good Magic card. Unknown Shores fixes for us, plus gives us the colorless we want for a card like Prophet of Distortion. So that's pretty interesting. I think I'm just going to take the Scion Summoner, though. I might just give up on the Jorian plan, or splash it if it becomes an easy thing to do. Loam Larva is okay as well, and does enable the splash. I think Scion Summoner is just a better card, though. Yeah, let's go with that. Alright. More Magic cards. Containment Membrane is a decent little removal spell. Crumbling Vestige is a good source of colorless that also fixes for you. Lead by Example, I think, is pretty excellent. Hey, look, it's another decent white 3-drop. Joraga Auxiliary. Sure. No, I think I'm just gonna take Lead by Example. I like this card. Yeah, let's go that route. For no other reason, that is the card I want right now. There's another one. Gravity Negator is pretty darn good too, and is probably the one I should take here. I am going to need some colorless sources. Look at this beautiful foil plains. Let's take the Gravity Negator. See where it goes. Sweep Away is a good Magic card. Seer's Lantern is also a source of colorless and a little bit of acceleration if that's what we need. Vines of the Recluse is quite an excellent combat trick, actually. You almost always surprise somebody and kill a creature with this. And killing a creature for 1 green mana is pretty damn good. Which one of these do I want? I think I'm actually going to go with the Vines. I probably should take the Sweep Away. A lot of people probably take the Sweep Away there. Well, the Oath of Jace came back around. So now I'll take it, because unless I want to take a green-white land to open up a white splash, but I don't think that's something I need to do. I think I'm okay with having this card. I don't love it, but and I may not even play it, but there it is. Void Shatter is pretty reasonable. I like Negate too. It probably should just be Void Shatter. It counters more things. Negate could really get people. Easier to cast. I'll probably get a Negate later. This is an uncommon, right? Yeah, sure. I'll take a Void Shatter. I don't know if I'll play it in the main, but I really don't think I'm going to play Comparative Analysis. It just doesn't seem like a card I want. Zulaport Chainmaid should not ever be going that late. I'm going to take the Submerged Boneyard just to enable a splash, because I think that's better than pay drafting, but I've still never seen this card cast. I can see in theory how it could be a magic card. You make a blocker at instant speed and eat something, or you make a blocker, or make a creature that has to be blocked and take the land. Hey, I got a foil one? Anyway, it's just not a good card. Well, here's our deck. Let's add some lands and see how it goes. Oh, we still have more packs to open. Excellent. Well, Thought Harvester is a pretty good magic card. I mean, it's okay. It's a 2/4 flyer for 4 mana. We don't really care that much about exiling cards, but it still flies, does stuff. What's this rare all about? Colorless creature that entered the battlefield this turn. So far, I do have a few of those. This enters the battlefield tapped, which is kind of a downer. It's not really the deck that wants this card, although I do want the colorless mana for a couple of my guys. But I just don't think that's really going to be what we want to be doing. I'm just going to take the Thought Harvester, I think. It's a reasonable flyer. There's really not much else here. There's a Boulder Salvo that would be great with this plan, but I don't think we're on that plan anymore. It's going to be a Thought Harvester. Hedron Alignment. Heck yes. Win the game if you own a card named Hedron Alignment in exile, in your hand, in your graveyard, and on the battlefield. We should be able to pretty easily pick up 4 of these and make that happen. In the real world, we're looking for a magic card. Maybe a Seer's Lantern at this point? That's not real exciting. There's a Sweep Away here too that maybe is a better pick. I feel like I want some sources of colorless, and maybe I like Seer's Lantern more than I should. This is such a grindy format sometimes. It is and it isn't. If you can survive the early game, it becomes a grindy format. And then Seer's Lantern can be really a huge advantage. Bottoming a few lands in the mid game puts you so far ahead. The other guy's just drawing those lands that are dead, and you're not. So, the card I'm going to take here. It might not be right. Sweep Away might be right, but I want a Seer's Lantern. So, now I have one. Well, there's a Hedron Crawler. That's probably the pick. It accelerates us nicely into 4 and 5, which we don't have a lot of yet, but we're going to. Could pick up the Call of the Gatewatch just in case we get a bunch of planeswalkers that we want to tutor for. Probably just a Hedron Crawler. Stalking Drone's a fine card too, I guess. I don't feel like I give it much respect, but it's because most of the time I see people with that card and no access to colorless mana, I guess, and it seems really bad then. Maybe it's the card I should be taking here, but I don't have much for colorless, so I'm going to take the Hedron Crawler. Maybe we'll get some big guys to accelerate into. I wouldn't mind that. A big 5/4 Vigilance guy would be welcome on the team. Well, this is the thing you can accelerate into. 7 mana to bounce 2 guys and draw 2 cards is sexy in my book. It's a lot of mana, but we can totally do that. There's another Gravity Negator, which is great. We're going to go with the Roiling Waters. That sounds like fun to me. Netcaster Spider would be fine in this deck too. I don't really know what this deck is. I don't think I've drafted blue-green before. I don't know if this is going to be awesome or sucky, but we're in it for a Swiss, so at least we'll get to play 3 rounds with this pile. And I have coffee, so there you go. Well, this sucks. It's weird, because I keep seeing all these white cards, but if we'd gone into white, we would just have a bunch of the decent commons. I mean, Spawnbinder Mage is fine. Core Scythe Master is fine. But you don't want a deck full of only these, and our deck would have been that if we'd been in white, so kind of weird. Another Vines of the Recluse is okay. I still don't want comparative analysis. I don't want any of this stuff. Bone Saw. It saws bones. Or maybe it's a saw made out of bone, which maybe looks more accurate. Let's go with another Vines of the Recluse. There's another Zulaport Chain Mage, so it's good that we have no removal, so we can't possibly deal with those when we run into them. Huh. Well. That's such a late Malakir Soothsayer. Remember how I was saying I love drawing cards? This one is real good at that. It's not a thing that we can do. Flare Drone's awesome too. Let's move on down the line. Containment Membrane would be okay. Crumbling Vestige is a pretty good option for us and probably what I'm going to take. There's also another Hedron Crawler. Pulse of Marasa isn't bad either, especially out of the sideboard in the right matchup. 6 life is kind of a lot. It makes a big difference. I'm going to take the Crumbling Vestige, and we're going to have that. Oh my god. I'm being punished for being alive. 2 Malakir Soothsayers in a row. It's okay. I have Prophet of Distortion, and I have Roiling Waters. I'm going to get to draw cards too, so... I don't think Warping Well is all that good. Holdout Settlement might just be the card, although Netcaster Spider, there's an argument for that as well. And maybe a better argument, actually. I think I'm going to need the Netcaster. Staying Alive is going to be one of the things this deck has to do. There's another Netcaster. See, we could have that white splash fully enabled here. There's the Negate too, which I'd like to have, but I'm just going to take a second Spider and we're going to block things today. There's that Elemental Uprising. So good. Another Zulaport Chain Mage, so somebody's going to have all of those. I don't want any of these cards, so I'm just going to take one of those away, so they only have 7 instead of 8. Well, I don't need the Ancient Crab, I don't think, after the Spider picks. Crab does fill a little different slot than that, but I'm going to take Sweep away. A little interaction is a good thing. Put interactive spells out here. Well, I don't even know. I guess nobody likes Zulaport Chain Mage. Wow. Okay, so here's the good news. Blue is so open. I think really good blue cards just haven't been opened in these packs yet, but nobody's in it, so we might do really well in the Battle for Zendikar pack. I'm just taking the Negator here. I like having a second one of those. I'll take a comparative analysis. I'm probably not going to play it because I don't think I need it, but hey, look at that. I'm really glad to get that card so late. I will probably side that in some matchups. This looks like it's not going to happen. We just haven't seen another red card. That's the problem with taking a gold card with your first pick in a draft, but it looked like fun, and I thought maybe it was worth it. So I don't think we gave up much in that pack. Okay. Should we splash for the Rolling Thunder? Splash for Jory N and Rolling Thunder. Easy, right? What do we have to splash? The Crumbling Vestige. There's one of the red. Only one time. Look, we have this basic mountain too. Put that in the deck. Passing Rolling Thunder hurts so much, especially when I'm not taking anything very good over it. There's a Snapping Gnarlid, which maybe is the pick. It's kind of a beatdown card. It's just a 2-drop. I don't have any 2-drops, though, and I do have a little bit of support. What did I take over that Saddleback that I totally wish I had in my deck now? I don't like my deck very much as I look at it right now, so... good thing it's a Swiss. 3 rounds of joy with this mess. Alright. Okay, some things here that I like. Eldrazi Sky Spawner is awesome. Probably the card I'm just taking. Incubator Drone would be okay in this deck too. Cloud Manta would be also fine. Getting a pretty good little Flyers plan here. The Cloud Manta might come around. Plated Crusher, I like. 7 mana for a 7/6 Trampler dude that they can't target with anything. He's just big. He's really kind of hard to deal with. Tajuru Beastmaster is also fine and may come around the table. I don't really think I have any other allies at all. Wait, are you an ally? No. You're out of the deck. It's just going to be a Sky Spawner here. There's no way I'm passing this card right now. Alright, well, that's a good one. This is a really bad pack. Gruesome Slaughtered. Can we make that happen? It makes Prophet of Distortion ping for 1. Void Grafter for 2. These can ping. The Sky Scum ping. These ping. No, I don't have enough colorless cards for that. What the hell do I even want out of this pack, though? Eyeless Watcher doesn't really do anything in my deck. Wavewing Elemental? It is a big flyer. Maybe we need a big flyer. Okay. Big flyer. Okay. Hey, Herald of Kozilek with the jury in. Now we're back on track, right? Totally. Spawning Bed would be great. Source of colorless mana that can also make some dudes. Seems great. But hey, copies being discontinued. They tell me this a lot. There's also a software download complete. So that's good too. Clutch of Currents is the card we're going to take here because it's a really good magic card. Spawning would be great. I don't have enough sources of colorless yet, really, but I'm taking Clutch. Another Snapping Gnarlid. I'm just going to get these out of here and see what our actual curve looks like. That's another trick. Yeah, we want a 2-drop. And Snapping Gnarlid over Coral Helm Guide, I believe. Alright. Sure. I wish Lifespring Druid could add colorless mana. Ulamog's Reclaimer is cool, but I don't think we have any way of exiling anything other than Void Shatter. Yeah, that's less good. Second Herald of Kozilek. Go deep on that. Mist Intruder is just boring. Ugh. I don't even know what I'm taking here, guys. I guess the Mist Intruder. I don't want to play it. Huh. This deck is not really going to come together. I'm going to win some games with this, but... Okay, Titan's Presence. How many colorless creatures does that work with? Not really any of mine. I don't have any of them over 2 power. They just don't really do anything. Merc Strider to go with my Mist Intruder. Ooh, baby. A Plummet for the sideboard is probably the card, I guess. Adverse Conditions is okay, right? Maybe I want that. No, I'm just going to take a Plummet for the side. This is more difficult than I want it to be. I think I have to have the Blooded Woodland. I need the colorless source, and it's one that actually does something, but I want the Oran Reef Invoker. I like this card. And Ruin Processor is just huge, even if you hardly have any way to exile. Oh, I have Thought Harvester too. I have ways to exile. I don't really want to play the Mist Intruder though. And Void Shatter might not make it either. I'm going to take the land. That might be stupid, but I want it. Spell Shrivel's not a bad card to have. I've already got the Void Shatter, but I'm okay with having a Spell Shrivel in my pile. Well, I didn't end up with any other allies, so Beastmaster is just a one-time pump of the team, but it's also a 5/5 for 6. Incubator Drone is kind of boring in this deck. I'm going to take the Beastmaster. I don't know if I'll play it, but this is nothing. I'm going to take a huge guy so he doesn't attack me. Herald of Kozilek Wheels. That's... wow. In triple Battle for Zendikar, that's literally impossible. But this is a different format. Put this over here with my Jorian. We'll have our red-blue sideboard plan. Seek the Wilds. No, I guess I might run a Fertile Thicket, but I don't like it very much. Blister Pod. Well, can we have one more pack to open just so I can get some cool cards? No? This is it? Okay. 26 here. Well, I had those so neatly organized before you did that. Let's group the creatures separately. We have a lot of non-creature spells. Not playing both of these, let's be honest. What did I end up with for sources of colorless? Just those two, plus the Hedron Crawler and the Seer's Lantern. And then I've got Scion Summoner, Eldrazi Sky Spawner that are one-time use colorless mana. Not great. I don't think we want the Mist Intruder. It doesn't do anything in this deck. I think the rest of the creatures need to stay in place. This is a little questionable up here. But I think I want some top end. I probably need 18 lands, even though I have the Hedron Crawler and the Seer's Lantern. We don't have a lot of removal. This Judgment is pretty hard removal. The rest of these get things out of the way and maybe kill them. 2 more cuts. I don't think I want to cut any creatures. Maybe Void Shatter comes out of the sideboard here. I can see that. I don't think I can cut the Seer's Lantern. It sort of feels like Vines of the Recluse might be the one I cut. And that gives me a pretty good variety of tricks and whatnot in the deck. The card is good. Probably is a card this deck is happy to have 2 of. This can go up here and be a creature. Which actually means I have 16 creatures, and maybe could cut one. Like I could cut a Netcaster Spider and bring it in out of the sideboard if they have a lot of flyers, because it is a pretty unexciting dude. He doesn't do much. Would I rather have 2 Netcaster Spiders or 2 Vines of the Recluse in my deck? Or something else entirely? There's not really a good option for something else. Well, I think I like it this way. If you draw multiple Netcaster Spiders against a deck that doesn't have flyers, you're not generally going to be super happy with that situation. They're just 2/3s for 3. Vines of the Recluse is good against flyers too, but also good against non-flyers. I just talked myself into it. If that was a mistake, tell me so I can argue with you about it. That would imply that anybody's ever actually going to watch this video, which they might. We're pretty even split here. I have no double green spells, and my 1 double blue spell. Well, that's not true. No, it is true. All right. So the mana's easy, and that's a nice thing. 4 sources of colorless for 2 gravity negators and a Prophet of Distortion. Okay. Add lands. 8 and 8. Yep. Blue-green, huh? This does not excite me. I wish I could have shown you guys an awesomer draft than this as the first one, but considering this is the first draft and I'm probably just going to screw up the recording and lose it anyway, there it is. Draft number 1. Oh yeah, let's do the Reed Duke thing and screenshot this. And then, well, I'll save a copy of it, but you don't have to stick around to watch that. I'll be back for round 1. Thanks for watching.